good afternoon. Hey, hey. Happy to see you. I'm fighting for my life with this camera angle. Cheese and crackers. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Give me just a second so I can get on live on Facebook and then we can get this party started. There we go. Woo. All right, hello there, everyone. So good to see you. My name is Trisha J. I am a co-leader of Truth Seekers Assembly. We are a praying and fasting ministry, and we are on the second day of our first fruit fast. So, since we are on the second day of our first fruit fast, I wanted to make sure that I got on so that way we could have a conversation and make sure that everybody's doing everything they need to do. Y'all know that our foundational scripture is Isaiah 43, verse 19. Let me read it from a different version because y'all know I have been reading it from the same version. But our foundational scripture for the year is Isaiah 43, verse 19. Hello there. And I'm going to read from the ESV version today. It says, "Look, I am about to do something new. Even now it is coming. Do you not see it? Indeed, I will make a way in the wilderness, rivers in the desert." Behold means to look. Take stock in what you're looking at. Use your eyes to see what you need to see. Okay? And so this is why we've been talking about spiritual intelligence for quite some time. We've just been walking through raising our level of spiritual awareness for the year. Okay? So I don't want to hold you too long because I already had to get on late. I hope you broke your fast in a sustainable way. Please don't eat all crazy. But, we're turning over our plates from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., drinking water, and, just fasting as the Lord leads. That's the most important piece. And I literally mean the Lord, not what we want to do. Okay? Because fasting is all about what we don't want to do. Okay? Hey, glad to see you live. All right, so let's get this party started. The Lord, I don't know about y'all. I think I've invited all of y'all, all of the covered girls, to read the Bible with me from beginning to end. Remember, we started off doing the B90X challenge where we would read the entire Bible in 90 days, which is crazy aggressive. But we used to do it, and we used to do it at least once a year, which I thought, what was I thinking to have y'all do that with me? And y'all crazy selves did that with me. And so since I have transitioned to us just reading the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelation every year. And so this year we are reading the Terry Cabo version in the Bible app. And we literally just finished the book of Joshua. We are currently in the book of Judges. And oh my goodness, when I tell you, such a good book. And that's why I mentioned yesterday. I mentioned yesterday that Lovey Ajayi Jones, I believe, she said something so crazy. Let me see if I can find it. But it was really good, and it was so on point to really how the book of Joshua was. She was like, basically we got to see some monopoly happening. Uh, we got to see some war. We got to see all of these things happening in this book, and she didn't tell a lie. It was a very entertaining book, and I come from the world of reading your Eric Jerome Dickey, your Sister Soldier books. I was reading some books, y'all. I was reading some books, and so when I got saved, I started reading books like that, right? Okay, and so the Lord was like, just read my book. I'm telling you, I got action in here. Yes, the book is full of action, and so I don't see it. I hate that for y'all. I thought I was gonna find it, but I don't see it for y'all. If I find it, I'll pop it in a group chat or something. But Joshua was he was one of the ones, I always talk about one of the ones, but he was one of the ones that he we get an example of him doing the right thing, right? Which is rare. Usually you get like a what not to do situation happening. And so obviously you still honor the office, hey, of the person that you are serving under, that sort of thing. But Joshua is one of the people that we are seeing who does the things right from beginning to end. Was he perfect? Absolutely not. But he did the things right. And I just love that for all of us. Okay. And so with that, we get to see how much he really moves with God. He is not one to be trying to move without God having his presence there. And so I think that that is a life lesson that we all could stand to take. Not making decisions that we want to make, but making decisions that God would have for us to make. And so, obviously, if you're reading the Bible challenge with us, we first meet Joshua with Moses, and Moses was, a solid leader. Moses was a solid leader. One thing that I would call out for sure with Moses is that Moses was a man of principle. He lived by principles. And y'all see all these books behind me. I love a good nonfiction book, and then this bookcase is like my Bible books, right? Um, Moses was a man who lived by principle. He was a man who got to see God, and see his face. And he perfect? Absolutely not, right? He let his anger get the best of him, and he couldn't even go to the promised land. Although he was the prophet to, call the things out and deliver the children of Israel from captivity. But he lived off of principle. And so even though he made that one little mistake, right? He still goes down in history. He is, a big deal in Bible times, okay? So we even hear about him in the New Testament. Now, I say that to say many of our people, just like the children of Israel, love a good miracle. Who loves a good miracle? Everybody loves a good miracle, right? But they were so focused on the miracles, they lived on miracles for 40 years, that they missed a lot. They missed a lot because they weren't operating from the principles of God. And so Moses was one of those ones to show you, and he showed Joshua how to lead and how to fight against like the Amalekites and other enemies of the children of Israel. And so this is where he got his start, being a spy. So by the time Moses is passed on and he is passing the mantle of leadership onto Joshua, he's got a little bit of experience now, right? He's got some skin in the game. He's been a spy, for quite a while now, and so he knows what to look for. He knows what to look for even in people that are on his team, and who doesn't love that? I love that for him. And so that's where we are. I want you all to, if you have an opportunity, I hope you have a Bible. If you got your digital Bible, go ahead and grab your digital Bible. If you got a paper Bible, bonus points to you. That's even better, because, baby, we need the paper Bible. The digital Bible, I noticed it changes so much. It changes quite a lot. So please, if you do not have a paper Bible, I am urging you to get a paper Bible. Okay, get you a hard copy Bible. I have recommendations if you are in need, but yes, get you a paper Bible. Okay, we're going to be reading today from Joshua chapter 10. You good, Am? All right. We're going to be reading from Joshua chapter 10. If you're watching live, go ahead and type in live. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and type in the replay. And so let's jump to Joshua chapter 10. I am going to be reading from the ESV version, okay? I'm literally a reader because I need you to know this word. I hate Y'all know the story? No, we don't. Okay. And so this is why I read the word and just give you the commentary that the Lord is telling me. Cause y'all need to know these stories, okay? Which is why I want you to have a paper Bible. Okay? So, um, I don't know if I have a fun, brandable, catchy title for this one. Um, right now, what I have been saying is you better understand the assignment, okay? So, if you can make that pretty, if something comes up along the way that's better, let's do that. But that's what I've been saying. You better understand the assignment, because where we are in this season, you need to understand your assignment. God has given each and every one of us something to do, and that's just very frank about what it is. And so my assignment has always been to prepare the people, teach the people, prepare the people, get them ready. Okay. So everything that I do, I'm teaching somebody. So we're going to start right at verse 1. Okay. Now King Adonizedek of Jerusalem heard that Joshua had turned Ai and completely destroyed it, treating Ai and its king as he had Jericho and its king. Remember, Joshua has been playing Monopoly. Okay, he has been going to war. He is a warrior. He is going to battle. He is mollywopping all of God's enemies. He is taking their land. Okay, so they're not lying about what's happening. It's happening, and God is with him. So it's supposed to happen. Okay. So, um, where are we? Treating Ai and its king as he had Jericho and its king, and that the inhabitants of Gibeon had made peace with Israel and were living among them. Now, that was the caveat. God never wanted the children of Israel to live amongst the people, because why? It has been just hard, stone cold data, facts, right? What happens when we are not with like-minded people? We go right into whatever it is that they're doing, and so the children of Israel have been um, prone to, what do we call it, idol worship. So this is why the Lord never wanted us to commingle. You got to make sure that if you are commingling, you have to be the thermostat. You got to be the person setting the temperature. You can't go and let people change who you are, the way you operate, how you think, your core beliefs. Um, if you see that happening, you might be a little bit too impressionable, and you should probably change your circle. And I say that with love, because if you don't, then you end up like this, right? We end up in the idol worship because we want community, we want to be with the people, do the things, and then we get in trouble with God. And don't nobody got time for that. Okay, I don't know about y'all, but I don't got time for that. I don't want that. So this is what is happening when they are living among the people. So Adonai-Zedek and his people were greatly alarmed, because Gibeon was a large city, like one of the royal cities. It was larger than Ai, and all its men were warriors. Hello, remember, Joshua is a warrior. He is a trained spy. What do you think he's going to align himself with? Warriors. Just saying. So therefore, King Adonizedek of Jerusalem sent word to King Hoham of Hebron, King Hiram of Jarmuth, King Japhia of Lachish, and King Deber of Eglon, saying, "Come up and help me. We will attack Gibeon, because they have made peace with Joshua and the Israelites." Now let's stick a pin there. Have you ever had people not like you, and then they can't take you down, so then they join forces to make sure other people don't like you? Just me? Because, baby, that means you something special. When they got to join forces to try and take you down, just know God is with you. Go ahead and type in the chat, God is with me, because I'm telling you, it don't matter how many people want to come against me. When I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, God is with me. No amount of people can take me down, okay? Because God is with me. And God will be with you too, okay? So I just thought that was crazy to see because Joshua is literally just trying to obey the Lord. He is just trying to do the right thing, right? And it's not always easy doing the right thing. And especially when you are getting to a place where, I am big on this one. My sister Shemama, she always says, I come and I shake things up. But I shake things up to make it right, right? And so I'll come to a place and it's like, this is the way that we've always done things. And it's like, but you're taking all these shortcuts. It's not integral. This does not please the Lord. So what does the manual actually say we should do? Because that's probably what I want to do. You know what I mean? And I just think that's the funniest thing because, you know, you have to make sure that you understand who you are. So Joshua already knew what time it was. Joshua has been, his hands have been trained to war. He knows he's a warrior, and he has made peace with the people in the land that are also warriors. So they're not even fighting against each other anymore. And the fact that one of his enemies has made peace with him, all of the other enemies decide to get together and combine forces to fight. Um, we are going to pick back up. They said, "Come help. We will attack Gibeah because they have made peace with Joshua and the Israelites." That baby is tearing them dishes up back there. Can y'all hear that? Because I'm wow. Um, so the 5 Amorite kings and the kings of Jerusalem, um, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, and Eglon forces advanced with all of their armies and besieged Gibeon and fought against it. The men of Gibeon sent word to Joshua in the camp of Gilgal. Okay, don't give up on your servants. Come quickly and save us. Help us, for all the Amorite kings living in the hill among the country have joined forces against us. So Joshua and all his troops, including all his best soldiers, came from Gilgal. Okay, so a couple things here. I love that Joshua is a person of his word. Okay, Joshua made an agreement that we gonna be cool. We got a peace treaty. You got my back. I got your back. Now, because hello, the children of Israel should not be commingling. This would have been an easy opportunity to be like, well, not all of y'all out. But who's to say how that actually would have gone? They could have, they already needed help, right? So they could have been taken down, but then all of the other kings together could have taken down Joshua because remember, he's winning the battles because God is with him. God is with him because he is obedient and trusting the Lord and surrendering to him. It is literally his character and his passion to have God's presence in and with him is why he's succeeding. This is why he's winning. And so if you are having to war through, the word's always going to test you. That's what you got to know. The word is always going to test you. So yes, you can get a prophecy about the great things that are going to come. But the word, I don't want to say the word is going to test you. It's going to try you though. The word is going to try you and make sure that you are who you say you are. And when rubber meets the road, you are the person that you claim to be. So we can make sure that you are worthy to get the things that you are asking for. So Joshua is keeping his word. Joshua is a man of his word, and he decides that I'm going to take me and my best soldiers. He reminds me of like the 300 movie, okay? I'm taking me and my best soldiers, and we're going to fight on behalf of our ally, okay? Now, let's go to verse 8. Joshua 10, verse 8. The Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid of them, for I have handed them over to you. Not one of them will be able to stand against you." Okay, so all these people are ganging up against him. They don't like the fact that he's created this treaty with this king, and they are living amongst each other peacefully. So they all gang up and try to pick a fight on this guy. And so Joshua is in a space where he could walk away, but he is a man of his word and he is a principled man. Remember, he was under the tutelage and his mentor was Moses, and Moses was not moved by those miracles. Remember, the children of Israel, they walked around the wilderness for 40 years. because they were focused on miracles, okay? And then they didn't even like the miracles. You got manna, fresh manna every morning to sustain you. A miracle food we have never seen since. You got it, and you complained about it. Wild times, where Moses was this principled man, right? He lived by principles. Surely, as he was encouraging Joshua, telling him not to be afraid, and he has this, as he passed on his mantle, right? Remember, Joshua was a spy underneath, the leadership of Moses. I'm sure at this point he picked up some things along the way. I'm sure at this point, as Moses mentored him, he learned some things along the way. And being a man of principle, being a man of your word, were the things that were very important. And you see it in the actions that Joshua is taking as we go through this book, okay? So, even though these people try to gang up on him, right? Because one person can just never not like you alone. It's always got to be more than one person, right? But that really just means you got the juice. Just know that, because God is with you. And God reassures him and says, don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of all 5 of them, because they're trying to gang up on you. Don't let that move you. I'm with you. I am with you. He said, I've handled them. I've handed them over to you. And not one of them will be able to stand against you. I think sometimes when we go through our own trials and tribulations, right? When we face resistance, you have to really just check in and see, God, first of all, am I where I'm supposed to be? Because sometimes that's it. Maybe we're not where we're supposed to be, and this is letting me know that, right? But if you're where you're supposed to be, then that's when you check, are you with me? Because what you want me to do? Because if you want me to take them out, I know I can take them out. But if you want me to chill, I'm going to chill. I don't know about y'all, but again, I'm a warrior through and through. Not because I want to be. I would love to just be like a little pretty princess. That's not my makeup. I'm a warrior. I'm a princess warrior. Okay? And so David, even King David, would ask the Lord, shall I pursue? Like, should I go after these people? Do you want me to mollywop them? Never go into a battle that the Lord didn't tell you to go into. Because there have been times, even in the Word, we'll see people going to battle just because, well, last time I was able to do this thing, and I was able to fight this enemy, and I was able to, take them out with 300 people. And then this time, it's a smaller amount of people, so you take a smaller team, and you lose. Because did you ask the Lord, were you even supposed to go there? Did you ask the Lord, was this what you were supposed to be doing? And so the fact that, Joshua is just being a man of principle, right? Just what he learned. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to keep my word and do what I told the Lord I was going to do. Because remember, keeping your word and being a man of your word and oaths were big back then, and they should be now, just saying. So God reassures him, don't be afraid of them. I am here with you, okay? I've handed them over to you, and not one of them will be able to stand against you. When you are going through your trials and tribulation, you need to be able to stand flat-footed and know that God is with you. You need to check in before you make a move to make sure that God is with you. Okay, verse 9. So Joshua caught them by surprise. After marching all night from Gilgal, the Lord threw them into confusion before Israel. He defeated them in a slaughter at Gibeon, chased them through the ascent of Beth Horon, and struck them down as far as Azekah and Makkedah. As they fled before Israel, the Lord threw large hailstones on them from the sky along the descent of Beth Horon all the way to Azekah, and they died. More of them died from the hail than the Israelites, killing them with the sword. So remember, God said, don't be afraid of them. I got this handled. They didn't even have to do a lot of the dirty work. Just saying. God actually took a lot of them out. This is big. This is why I stick and stand on Exodus 14:14. When you let God fight for you, my goodness. I often find myself saying, Lord, okay, that's enough. Like, too much. You doing too much on the person. I don't even like. I just wanted to beat him up. I just wanted to beat him up for playing with me, and you are over here mollywopping this person. Now I'm feeling bad for him. God do not be playing. He don't play about me. Clearly, he wasn't playing about Joshua. He was taking them out. He killed more of them than the trained warriors. Just saying. I just need you to know that. And so, verse 12, on the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to the Israelites, Joshua spoke to the Lord in the presence of Israel. Okay? So, let's pay attention to this. He says, sun, stand over Gibeon, and moon over the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stopped until the nation took vengeance on its enemies. This is where we are. This right here is why we're reading this. The Lord has told us, okay, and I know it's not just me. There is an assignment that you need to do. There is an assignment that needs to be accomplished. Remember, this year, 2025, this season is a year of building. Remember, we kept saying our foundation of scripture is behold. Is behold because this is a year of the eye. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of prophecy happening with your eyes, your spiritual eyes, which is why you need to make sure your spiritual, where your spiritual antennas. This is why your spiritual intelligence needs to be on. Okay, you need to be able to be sensitive to the spirit. You need to stop being so busy. You need to stop being so caught up in the latest buzzwords and headlines and whatever is on social media and be still. You need to hear from the Lord. The Lord is requiring you build some things in this season. These things are going to be meal tickets for you, okay? They're going to take your finances to the next level. They're going to help you and sustain you when we have our 7 years of not so much, okay? Because newsflash, we're already in our 7 years of plenty. We got 5 more years of our 7 years of plenty after this year. You need to be building, okay? So, let me tie it all together. Joshua asked, he spoke to the Lord and he asked in the presence of the people, sun, stand still over Gibeon and moon over the valley of Ajalon. Some of you have procrastinated for far too long. Some of you have needed to get some books out. I know I'm guilty of needing to get some books out, written in the process of editing one, and I need like 3 more done. The Lord is on my head about it. And my schedule just keeps getting busier. And he's like, yeah, and I still require this of you. Make it enough. Make the time enough. Figure it out. But the thing that blessed me so is that Joshua has an assignment to do. And although the Lord is there helping, he is helping to mollywop these people. Okay? He is taking them out by hell. He asked for the sun and the moon to stand still so he could accomplish and finish his assignment. What is your assignment that you need to be completing? Because it needs to be completed in this season. What is it? Type it in the comments because, baby, I know some musicians who need to put some songs out. I know some authors who need to be writing some books. I know some speakers who need to be actually going on tour. I know some entrepreneurs that actually need to start the business. Some of you need to actually be full-time in the business and not working for other people. And that's why the Lord will never let you have an easy job, because he wants you to be all in the thing that he told you to build. I don't know about you, but when I was in school, me and deadlines, ugh, I hate deadlines. I do not like waiting until the last minute for anything. Okay. But when I was in school, when I was getting my degrees, I was getting pregnant. I was taking my laptop to the hospital to finish papers or finals or tests, because nothing was going to stop me from accomplishing my goals. And so it was just like the deadline of either the pregnancy or the deadline of the class from the syllabus would add a little bit of extra pressure on me. I don't know about y'all, but some people like last minute things. So, and my work is my job to help everybody be organized as the project manager. So I'm keeping the timeline of the things. When my leader asks for the things, I usually already have it. Like today in our meeting, he was like, so I need you to think about this. You have until this amount of time to do it because this is how I'm going to advocate for you. And so I just need you to have like a bullet point sentence. And while he's talking, I literally just sent the document to him, in our like Teams chat or whatever. And he was like, "You already got it done, don't you?" Yes, sir. I hate, 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 hate being behind the gun. I do not like being late. I don't like being not on time. I don't like being last minute to things. I like to have a plan for the plan for the plan. This is the way that the Lord has made me. I don't like to stress about it, but I like to have the plan ready. So that way things are already done. I am just tweaking. I literally made a couple adjustments to one of the documents, like, hey, we talked about this in January, and the date said like updated in January. Like I started it then. I've completed a couple extra projects. I'm going to add those on here because I haven't touched it since. But I was prepared, ready to go. You need to get there, okay? And so for some people, I am literally always chasing them around. Hey, do you have the thing for me? Hey, the deadline was yesterday. Where's the thing? I need the thing. Joshua had an assignment. He understood the assignment and he knew he had a certain time frame to accomplish this assignment. And so this deadline made him think an uncommon thought. No one had ever asked for the sun to stand still before this time. It's documented. We've never seen it since either. I don't know about y'all, but I know just from being prophetic, right? Being a prophet, I know God holds time in his hands, right? And so I hate being late. Sometimes there are instances where I can't control whether or not we're going to be on time. Think about it. I have a family of 7. So I would have to get all the kids together, little kids, with diaper bags, snacks, my purse, Bible, whatever else we had, and still try and make it to wherever we got on time. We don't even make it to church on time now, and it's not because of me. John, I love you though, okay? I'm just saying. And so we have to get to a space to where we are getting prepared. We have to get to a space where we are getting prepared. So some people like that extra pressure. Joshua knew what God was calling him to do, and he asked for him to hold the sun and the moon. When I'm running behind, I'm like, Lord, can you hold the time for me? And I make it, hello, I'm Metro Detroit, so it's literally at least 45 minutes for me. My prayer is always, Lord, hold the time for me. I hate being late. Don't let me miss it. He will hold the time for me, and that 45-minute drive without having to be like fast and the furious speeding and weaving through the traffic all crazy can be a 15-minute drive. It's something about the supernatural. I am big on praying for parking spots. John hates it because he thinks that, I'm just extra, like I'm wasting a prayer almost. But I'm like, God cares about the things that I care about. And so if I know I'm about to go into the store and spend a lot of money on groceries or whatever it is, and I got all these kids I need to keep, eye on all the things, I want a close parking spot. So I pray for close parking spots. And so the kids laugh, but I get my close parking spot because God loves me and He cares about the things that I care about. And I think enough to ask Him for these things. And so Joshua thought enough to ask Him to stop, hold the sun, let the sun and the moon stand still. That is a different level of spiritual intelligence. So maybe what you have to do, the thing that you have to build, isn't a student paper anymore, right? I was a yearbook editor, so we had deadlines for that. Maybe it's not a deadline to where you have to have this thing submitted or it's going to misprint. But it is. It is. Because millionaires are made in recessions. Pay attention to what your government is pushing. Pay attention to the stocks that your Senate is buying, because you should be buying it too. Do we agree with all of the stock owners? Absolutely not. But we do understand the principle of how this is how they're having wealth built, and we need wealth built too. So it's not illegal. Pay attention. The things that you should be building in this season will help to sustain you financially. This is why I got to get so many books out. When y'all see the books pop, and it's so crazy because I have a dream journal that I need to push out. I have a devotion for prayers that I need to push out. But I got to finish this book. So when you see the book come, you're going to see it's just going to keep coming like that. Because I have to build the thing. Books are business cards. Each book, if you write it properly, will position you as a subject matter expert. And now you can speak on the thing, and then you get to travel the world for the thing, and now you get paid to speak about the thing, and basically have a vacation. If you work it right, you can write it off. Ask me about that. And wash, rinse, repeat. Now you're not working a 9 to 5. I always wanted to be a writer that still worked. I don't know why, because I'm crazy. But when I retire, I'm a full-time writer. You just got to know that about me, because I have to build the thing. What is the thing that you need to build? If God were to give you a project, and if He were to give you a deadline for that project, what would it be? I'm telling you, your deadline is December 31st, 2025. So what's the project? Put the project in the comments, because I need to be praying that God will hold the sun and the moon for you, that this time will be sustained for you to accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. This is the year to build. Type that in the comments. It literally is your year to build. So what is the project? Because think about this. You know how the solar system works. We're rolling. We're moving. We're rotating always. The sun and the moon stood still. If that's not a miracle, I don't know what is. I'm just saying, I need you to understand this and ask the Lord to have faith like Joshua. Because I'm telling you, I will ask him. Deanna, no, she do it now. Be asking the Lord, hold that time for me. Baby, hold that time for me. Yes, you need to write the books and manuals. You got a lot of knowledge when it comes to your nursing stuff, your nursing expertise. You need to write manuals for that. And all the things. You need to get to where you are building the things. What are the projects that God has assigned you to? Because the deadline is the end of this year. And it's so crazy because, hello, I know this, right? He's been talking to me about this for quite some time. And I'm teaching now. And I still do, Bible study and things with y'all in ministry, and I still work somebody's job, and I still gotta be somebody's mama, and baseball season is about to start, and so is concert band, and she's applying or trying out for a whole nother band thing, and all the things. Like, the things never stop in my house. And that's still not an excuse for me to not get the things done. It's still not an excuse for me to say I'm too tired, even if I got to push the time back, even if I didn't eat to break my fast yet. I still have to do the things because there is more that is required of me in this season. We can't afford to make excuses. There's a very small window of time that we have, and I won't say it's December 31st, right? I'm not that girl, but there's a small window. There's this time that the Lord is, this Kairos time that the Lord is allotting for us. And so there's this small little window that he's opening for us to get the wealth that we need. But we don't have the discipline to do the things that we need to do. I need you to get it together. You have to pursue your assignment in this season. You have to pursue your assignment. So let me wrap this up, okay? Because he has asked for God in front of an audience. Okay, because now he got witnesses to hold the sun and the moon for me. And God answered that prayer. He held the sun and the moon for him, okay? He says, and it says, verse 13, and the sun stood still and the moon stopped until the nation took vengeance on its enemies. So this is an answered prayer immediately. And so even though the assignment was to mollywop the enemy, God honored Joshua's prayer. Hold the time for me so I can do the thing that you told me to do, Lord. That's basically what he said. Even though we know the assignment is war. Because God be standing on business better than anybody I know. That's all I'm going to say. Let's jump back into this word because I want to wrap it up for you. Let's go to verse 14. There has been no day like it before or since when the Lord listened to a man, because the Lord fought for Israel. Then Joshua and all of Israel with him returned to camp at Gilgal. And they executed the 5 kings. Okay. Now, verse 16. The 5 defeated kings had fled and hidden in a cave at Makkedah. It was reported to Joshua that this is where the kings were found. Now, Makkedah, okay? This is important, which is why I'm spelling it out for you. Makkedah is a place of shepherds, symbol of a victory against their enemy. I felt like I was going to cough. Hold on. Makkedah is a place of it's a symbol, but it is a place of shepherds, and it is a symbol of victory against our enemies. Okay? So it is, I'm trying to say it to make sure that y'all type it. Makkedah is a place of shepherds, right? So leaders. And it is a symbol of victory against evil or evil forces, okay? And so those people that were so big and bad, they hated you so much that they couldn't stand against you on their own. They had to go get other people to gang up against you, still lost. They still lost because God is with you. Don't forget, God is with you. Okay? And so he finds them at this place. Joshua finds them at this place. What is your place of victory? So Joshua tells them, roll the large stones against the mouth of the cave and station men by it to guard the kings. But as for the rest of you, don't stay here. Pursue your enemies and attack them from behind. Don't let them enter their cities, for the Lord your God has handed them over to you. So Joshua and the Israelites finished inflicting a terrible slaughter on them until they were destroyed. Although a few survivors ran away to the fortified cities, the people returned safely to Joshua in the camp of Makkedah, and no one dared to threaten the Israelites. Then Joshua said, "Open the mouth of the cave and bring those 5 kings out of there." Okay, that's what they did. They brought the 5 kings of Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, and Eglon to Joshua out of the cave. When they had brought the kings to them, Joshua summoned all the men of Israel and said to the military commanders who had accompanied him, "Come here and put your feet on the necks of these kings." So the commanders came forward and put their feet on their necks. Joshua said to them, "Do not be afraid or discouraged. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord will do this to all of the enemies you fight." Y'all already know where I'm going with this, right? I know y'all know where I'm going with this. So we have the thing to build, right? God has given us the assignment. He's given us the project. We have the deadline. I need you to put your foot on the neck of your enemy. This is not the season to let up. This is not the time that you want to let up on the pressure. You need to apply some extra pressure. Do you understand what that means to put your foot on somebody's neck? You are literally one step away from snapping their spinal cord, and that's it for them. I need you to be ruthless when it comes to your goals. I need you to be ruthless when it comes to the things that God told you to do. Put your foot on the enemy's neck. We're not backing down in this season. God is with us. He said, "Don't be afraid or discouraged. Be strong and courageous, for the Lord will do this to all of the enemies you fight." So you mean to tell me you're facing all this resistance at work and you didn't put your foot on nobody's neck spiritually? That's crazy. Wow. So why? Why are we just taking things? See, this is where everybody thinking that because you know the Lord, you're supposed to be all meek. No. Everybody don't have that temperament for a reason. Some of us have to be warriors. Put your foot on the neck. I'm telling you, the best way that I can put my foot on somebody's neck in the spirit is pray. Get in His Word, read the Scripture. The kingdom is voice activated. So, baby, I'm using my words. I'm speaking in tongues. I'm praying in my heavenly language on the way to and from work. Yes, I am, because I got to put my foot on the neck of the enemy. You need to put your foot on his neck. After this, Joshua struck them down and executed them. He hung their bodies on 5 trees, and they were there until evening. At sunset, finally, the sun is moving now because we've accomplished everything that we needed to accomplish. Once the assignment was completed, we get the sunset. Okay? Until then, put your foot on their neck. At sunset, Joshua commanded that they be taken down from the trees and thrown into the cave where they had hidden. The large stones were placed against the mouth of the cave, and the stones are still there to this day. When we try to find this place on the map, it has not been found. So, I don't know about y'all, I gotta get up and do this thing all over again in the morning. Are you ready to ask the Lord to have faith like Joshua? Because Joshua never did anything in his own strength. Joshua was definitely, where you go, I go. What you say, I say, Lord. What you want me to pray? Because that's what I'm going to pray. Because he saw time and time again that God moved best when he was out the way and just willing to submit to whatever it is the Lord told him to do. And the fact that he would ask God for more time. Hold the time for me so I can do what you need me to do tells me everything we need to know. You too can ask God to hold the time for you. When are you going to do it? because we have a deadline. So I'm done with this. I love y'all. I will, I don't know. I'll see what time I'll be on tomorrow. I have to look at my schedule. I got to teach class tomorrow. So 8-ish, 8:30-ish Eastern Standard Time is what I'm thinking. 8:30. I got a class at 6 and it's an hour, so I got to see how long it's going to take me to get back and all the things. 8-ish? I'm thinking 8-ish. Okay. Please hydrate. Do not, while we're able to drink, do not deprive yourself of hydration. That is very, very important when you're fasting, when you're hungry. Please snack on some scripture. This is a great time to pray and ask the Lord for some things. Ask Him for some wisdom. Ask Him for some instructions. How do you want me to pursue this project that you've told me to do? What's the timeline that you're giving me, Lord? So that way I can make sure that I put my foot on the neck of the enemy. Put the foot on the neck of my flesh, right? Because sometimes it's us. Sometimes we are the one that's in our way. It's you versus you. You got to make sure the best version of you wins. And that means telling yourself no. That means telling your friends no. That means staying up a little bit later. That means getting up a little bit earlier. But now is not the time to play around. I pray and I hope that this blessed you. If it did, I ask that you just share, do your evangelistic duty and share with 3 people. And I will be on here again tomorrow around 8 o'clock. Before you get ready to start the fast again at 6 a.m. in the morning, please hydrate. If you got to exercise like me, please eat something to sustain you. I probably won't eat before. I've been eating sleep lately. I'll just pray a little bit extra. It's fine. I'll eat in the evening. It's where I am right now. It is what it is. But make sure that you are at least hydrating. Even if you add like a little pinch of salt to your water and a little squeeze of lime to make sure that your body is getting all of the nutrients that it needs. Please do so. Write down your prayers, write down your dreams, write down the things that the Lord is speaking to you, because it's very important in this season. You don't want to miss the instructions, okay? So I hope that this blessed you. If you're watching live, go ahead and type in live. If you're watching replay, go ahead and type in the replay. We'll be back on tomorrow for the 3rd day of our first fruit fast. And I think that's it. I feel like I covered everything, right? Did I miss anything, y'all? I don't feel like I missed anything. I think that's everything for today. Did y'all come up with a better title? It's almost want to be like, put your foot on his neck. Keep your foot on his neck. I don't know. So yeah, key scripture, Joshua 10 verse 12. And that's that on that. So I love y'all. Hope you have a good night. I will see y'all tomorrow. Okay, bye. Bye.